Welcome to Literary Concepts. Today's topic is lyric. Now let us try to understand the introduction of the lyric. The word lyric is originated from Greek word which means the lyrikos, Greek word lyrikos, which relates to the lyre, which means a stringed musical instrument. Lyre means a stringed musical instrument. So, lyric is sung by a single voice to the accompaniment of lyre. So, lyric is sung by a single voice to the in the company of a lyre. So, that is in the company of a musical instrument. So, lyric is a musical composition. Lyric is a musical composition. British poet Paul Grave, in the preface to his Golden Treasury, that is an anthology of songs and lyrics, means a collection of songs and lyrics. In that book, British poet Paul Grave, a definition on lyric like this. So, which turns on some single thought, feeling, or situation. Lyric is written on some single thought, or feeling, or situation. Therefore, lyric is an expression of a single emotion. What is lyric is here? The lyric is expressed on a single emotion. Now, let us try to understand the subject matter of the lyric. The lyric gives expression to a single emotion or feeling. So, the lyric expressed to a single emotion or a single feeling. It appeals more to the heart than to the intellect. So, it appeals to our heart more than to our brain, than to our intellectual. Understand? The poet wishes to convey his impression swiftly, memorably, and musically. The lyric poets, they always wants to convey his impression, his feelings, his emotions very swiftly, in a memorable manner, and in a musical manner. The term lyric is usually cover a song, the ode, the sonnet, etc. So all these genres, subgenres, the song, the ode, the sonnet, etc. All such kind of subgenres come under the term lyric. So it covers all these subgenres. Lyric is a subjective poem. The lyric is a subjective poem which expresses emotions, means a person's feelings, and lyric is particularly intensely personal. So it is completely personal, not impersonal. It is related to a person's emotions, a person's feelings. So that is the subject matter of lyric. Now let us try to understand the structure of the lyric. A lyric can be divided into three parts, three different parts, distinct parts, basis on corresponding to the three moods. So basis on the three moods when inspired by some emotion. So the lyric while composing, okay, which is inspired by some emotion or feeling. So it is divided into three parts, and that is depending on three moods, three different moods. The first part of the lyric states or tells the emotion. The first part of the lyric states, tells, expresses the emotion or the subject, that is the matter. Okay, in the beginning, that is a matter which has set on the poet's imagination. What poet imagined, what poet thought, what poet felt. Basis on that, the first part is divided. And the second part consists of the thoughts suggested by the emotion. So, in the second part, the poet expresses his thoughts which are inspired by, okay, which are inspired, motivated by his emotions. That is the second part. And the third part marks that the poet's return to his initial mood, that is the mood of reason. So, in the third part, what the poet does, the poet comes to the beginning of the mood, and that is the mood of the reason. Then he thinks about all these his emotions and his imagination, his feelings, and that he thinks. So he returns to the beginning, initial stage of the mood. So this is how the lyric structure is divided into three parts. The first part is emotion. It depends on the emotion. The second part is consisted of thoughts based on emotions. Then the third part, the poet returns to his initial mood. Next, let us try to understand some of the popular examples of lyric poems. So, Robert Herrick's lyric poem "To Blossoms" is one of the most popular example. Robert Herrick's lyric "To Blossoms." Then one more, a British writer, the British poet John Donne's "Canonization" is also very popular lyric poem. And the romantic poet William Wordsworth, his Tintin Abbey is another example for lyric poem. And John Milton's very famous poet, John Milton's "When I Consider How My Light Is Spent" is one more example of the lyric poem. And S.T. Coleridge, Samuel Taylor Coleridge's "Frosted Midnight." And then Robert Burns, this is a very popular poem. "Oh, my love is like a red rose." This is also a popular example for lyric poem. And Elizabeth Barrett Browning's, this is also very famous poem. "How do I love thee? Let me count the ways," by Elizabeth Barrett Brownings. And then the American poet Edgar Allan Poe wrote several famous lyrics like "The Raven," "Annabel Lee," and "A Dream," etc. So these are the popular examples of lyric poems which we find in English literature. So I hope you understand this basic concept of lyric. Thank you.